You wanna know what's the best thing you can do right now? Is to sit back, turn off your mind from all the bull squash that's happening, all the BS that's going on. Let's enjoy these videos, guys. I think you're gonna be really baffled. You ready to be baffled tonight? We got the right videos for y'all folks out there, okay? But remember, you need to hide your kids. Hide your kids, hide your wives. Like this video. Please like this video. Subscribe if you're brand new. Welcome on in. If you're new, welcome back. If you're an OG, roll it.
Few choosing to descend.
Au revoir!
Here are some of the crazy moments when alien presence becomes more than just an idea.
That gotta be Voldemort.
It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say.
Well, it's official. UFOs are appearing on Earth, and they're no longer shy enough to hide in the skies. This one was cruising over a city in Indiana, and a resident managed to capture it.
It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say.
They're always showing up in United States of America, baby. They always show in the US, man. Like, can a brother perhaps see you spawn in like on a different server as well?
According to him, this aircraft was some 3,000 feet high and was slowly increasing its altitude. He believes the spaceship was purposefully showing itself because it wanted to send a message to mankind. All I can say is, we're doomed.
Or maybe their cloaking technology failed. And of course, like, we do see them in different countries as well. Apparently Mexico, Brazil. Yeah, those are kind of like the hot spots as well.
3,000 feet up now, I'd say.
Alien Appalachia.
And shout out to, holy crap. I quickly want to shout out the homie Antoine.
A farmer living near the
if you're watching this video, Antoine, yeah, before I forget, he sent me this video to check out, like, in the email. So shout out to you, and shout out to the Squeeze Lemon, and shout out to all of these folks recording these videos and putting up on the internet.
Foothills of the Appalachian Mountains noticed his livestock mysteriously disappearing. One day, he finally stayed long enough after dawn to capture the assailants. And it didn't turn out as expected. From the foothills emerged a UFO, one that you'd see in movies, as if on a secret mission it stalked the area, but might have felt the farmer's presence since it suddenly disappeared into thin air. The farmer had barely recovered from the shock of seeing the first UFO when this happened.
Remove the, yeah.
Out of nowhere, two UFOs appeared, one even approaching the farmer. Spooked, he stopped recording, so we don't know what happened. But let's just hope he stayed safe.
They look too good to be true. And yeah, I know some people would be like, yo, why would you stop recording? I guess you would stop recording if you were really scared.
Galactic Dream. When a group of amateur Russian UFO hunters set out on their next hunt, they didn't expect to find this.
You cannot call a Russian amateur. You just can't, bro.
In the middle of the sky, a blur object suspended in midair. While it's easy to chalk this up to clever editing, the way the group's behaving, you can tell they're genuinely excited about discovering something like this, making me believe it's all real.
Yeah.
One of the UFO hunters even came in handy with a high-quality camera. As he zoomed in, you can see the UFO's outline. And here's the weirdest part. Only after the zoom can you tell it's moving. The group later lost track of the UFO, but the proof they gave us is more than enough.
Yeah. The aliens are amateur in this one, not like the Russians that are recording this, you know? The aliens are amateur, bro.
Actually, I don't know.
Oh yeah, this one, huh? This spawned in the... this footage, I remember, like, we had it, and this spawned, again, the conspiracy surrounding Project Bluebeam. We made a video on it not long ago as well.
Welcoming strange events. Just recently, this was seen flying high above the ground in a remote town in Mexico. Here are a couple of reasons this is weird. Firstly, it's glowing insanely bright. Even if it was an ordinary object capable of glowing, it shouldn't be this clearly visible against the sun. Secondly, like a few locals wondered, this isn't some sort of hologram. It's too high up in the sky. Plus, if there was a show like that happening, most locals would be aware. Yeah. Thirdly, it's not some balloon, or else it would have flown away in the first few seconds. So what sort of anomaly is this?
And those of you that do not know the Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam is essentially like a false flag operation with like the fake alien invasion, one world government, also destroying all the religions in a way, right? Because it's gonna bring in like a false god, kind of making you believe that whatever they do, whoever they show, they basically want you to believe in that thing that they're gonna show as God. So yeah, they want to destroy all the religions and all that, fake alien invasion, so that will bring everybody together, the masses together. Then all of the country governments would fail. They will have one world government. I guess the one world government can, on paper, sounds alright, but I mean, the reason they're doing it is very, very evil. And I mean, and this is a conspiracy, right? I mean, nobody knows whether this is gonna turn out to be real or not. Some people believe that now that the cat is out of the bag, the fact that it got leaked out, the Project Bluebeam, maybe now it's not gonna happen, or maybe it's gonna happen but in a different way that hasn't been leaked, if that makes sense. So there's that. And with the Project Bluebeam, they're gonna be using the hologram technology. Essentially, this is how it's gonna look like. Basically, if they project hologram, it doesn't exist, but it would look like that it exists, if that makes sense, right? And of course, nobody's gonna go high up and try to touch this dang thing to find out whether it's physical or just like a hologram, right?
This looks like a person with his arm sticking out.
Flyby object.
Ouais. Hey, c'était vraiment nice.
C'est vraiment
On
nice.
July 3rd,
Ouais, c'est vraiment
2009,
nice.
the citizens of Lake
Français, hein?
Havasu, a city in Arizona, noticed a strange object flying in the sky. From the distance, it initially appeared as a round object, so they just assumed it was some sort of weather balloon that had lost its way and was unable to float down because of the heavy winds. But once they were able to get a better look, they realized it was flattened on the ends and had a peculiar shape, exactly like the UFOs we've been seeing in cartoons and TV shows. The UFO remained airborne for quite a while, prompting...
Yo, I couldn't be the only one. Have you guys all wondered, like... Yeah, the UFOs that we saw in the movies. I'm not talking about like the recent movies, but like movies that are super old. Let's just say in the 80s, the 90s, right? Or whatever that movie was that introduced UFOs and aliens concept and idea for the first time. And especially these cartoons having UFOs and whatnot, right? The thought of the UFO originated from somewhere, right? You know what I mean, right? Like the thought, how they look like, how these beings look like, all of this, all the photos that we have, all the drawings that we have, whether you want to call it real or fake, that's a different topic. But the fact that we have pictures, fake or real, a lot of them are likely fake, let's be real, but like we have images of it, right? Images and whether you want to believe it's real or fake or somebody's imagination. The point that I'm trying to make here is that imagination, the fact that we have people drawing these things, making these things, having these pictures, the fact that someone used their imagination to come up with, I mean, their imagination don't work like that, right? You must have seen or heard or consumed something for that to be able to sit down in your subconscious and then you come out with it, right? That's when it manifests. That's when you put it like on paper, or I guess draw these things out, right? So my point, the question I got is that who was the first person to spot these, and who was the first person to make the drawing? What was the first movie to ever had that? What was the first cartoon? Yeah, exactly, right?
Citizens to wonder if this extraterrestrial aircraft was on some sort of a recon mission, but it eventually flew away.
Ouais. Hey, c'était vraiment nice.
Vraiment nice.
Cosmic grab.
Kind of baffling, man. Kind of baffling.
Just a few days ago, the clouds above California were accompanied by a flying saucer. One luckily captured by a motion sensor camera fixed on a skyscraper. The UFO was quickly joined by 3 human figures, all 4 floating in midair. And then suddenly, a couple more shadows joined up, this time belonging to animals. In a second, the air around them warped weirdly, and the entire group...
Yo, it did look like a deer there.
...disappeared. The UFO seemed to have summoned them inside.
Nah, that's fake CGI. I don't believe that. Yeah. My cat meter is too strong right now. I don't believe this is real, but. Okay, what are these? You're saying that this is an animal or a human? This looks like a deer. Yeah, this is probably like a chihuahua. Man, imagine this video isn't real. These things got the chihuahuas. They don't even leave chihuahuas alone. It looks like that this might be a dog or a sheep, or this might be a sheep, right?
And once it was done, it quickly flew upwards out of the camera's range.
Yeah, fake.
This is surely an alien abduction. But why? My theory is that extraterrestrial creatures are slowly building their own human settlement to rule over and control. Stealth visitor.
Nah, the last video is definitely fake though. I can't believe this one.
A man camping in Banff National Park in Canada captured a strange triangular object silently passing through the forest. The UFO glowed at the base, suggesting that it wasn't just a normal aircraft, but one possibly carrying extraterrestrial passengers. The UFO kept hovering over the area, unsure of whether to take its leave or stay. Honestly, from the way it's behaving, you'd think the UFO had plans to pitch its own tent in the forest, but thankfully, it decided to move along. Otherwise, we'd be dealing with an alien invasion sooner than we imagined.
Nah, I guess nobody knows, so.
Space bird.
But it's like, it's one of those things, right? Like, if they were to invade us, they probably would have already done it. There are surely conspiracies, and I love conspiracies. I love to be entertained with the ideas and thoughts. I don't believe everything I hear. Don't believe everything you hear, son. But you also don't want to dismiss it either. I just love conspiracies. I love this topic a lot. I love talking about it, right? But here's the thing, though. If the conspiracies are true, some of the conspiracies do say that we have made, like, what's the word? Temporary truce? Maybe not a temporary, but a longer truce, or perhaps like a full-on truce with these so-called alien and extraterrestrial beings. And we give them, they say that they give them Earth resources, sometimes humans as well, to do what? I don't know. And in return, they give us their technology. And this is how we work both. Both of us work together. When I say both of us, what I mean by this is humans and these beings, right? We work together. It's like a trade, just like how a country would do trades for money, right? Hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It's kind of like, it's one of those things, essentially. If these conspiracies, I would like to be entertained by them, sure. But if these conspiracies are real, I mean, yeah, makes sense. Maybe that's why they have not invaded us, and maybe in a way this is why us humans have made this truce. Because what if let's just say this is true, and what if the humans said no, like, hey, we're not gonna make a truce with you guys, then what if they kind of like invaded and wipe out the entire planet? I don't know, man. This is just like one of those things, right? I'm curious to know your thoughts for sure. But Space Burn?
C'est un vaisseau.
On le voit! Attends, mais c'est vraiment... Oh, ça
In 2018, in Quebec, a bizarre object took to the skies. Its unusual appearance quickly sparked fear and wonder in the citizens, who were smart enough to start recording. Now try to explain this. You can't say it's a hologram. If that were the case, the people recording it would have known. It's also not some sort of space debris or the remnant of a rocket. There wasn't a launch in the area during that time.
Holy crap.
This object glowed in multiple colors and even took on a green hue.
It does look like a weapon skin from Call of Duty, like especially the claw, the punches, right, that Call of Duty would have.
One of the citizens zoomed in and remarked he could see a slight hint of lights, suggesting this is some sort of alien spaceship.
Insane, man.
Hey, c'était vraiment nice.
C'était vraiment nice.
Space Avenger.
Space Avengers!
UFOs don't always take the stereotypical saucer shape. Sometimes they can even look like a man wearing a suit. Or maybe that is what's happening here. When this object appeared over the skies in New Mexico, it initially fooled quite a few people into thinking this was a superhuman. But since that didn't make sense, they were convinced it was some sort of prototype being tested by the American military. That would explain why it hasn't been out yet. However, a few are heavily convinced that this could be an alien spacecraft. Its unique shape and the ability to fly might owe to some technology we haven't been able to figure out yet.
Insane looking, man. Looks like a popcorn, right?
Flight
like
risk.
black popcorn. Flight risk. So it showed up during the flight? Yeah.
Here's a thought. Maybe the aliens have been flying overhead for decades, but we haven't been able to see because they're unreachable. Which explains why more and more passengers aboard a plane are seeing them. This UFO clearly didn't expect to be recorded, so it's not hiding behind the clouds either. As it silently passes over the clouds, it seems to be inspecting the area. The passenger recording believes the UFO was equipped with some highly advanced scanning device that was gathering intel from that large distance. That said, we're doomed, aren't we?
Bruh. We seriously don't know what they're doing, to be honest. But I guess go off. We're doomed! We're doomed, boys! We're doomed!
Camouflaging passenger. You probably have had enough of bizarre-looking objects flying in the sky. So now, let's have a look at this. Flying just above the ground. I can't tell if it's some object or a guy in the fetal position that has somehow cracked the code of flying without any gear. Did you notice the change? Dark at first, it changed its color to the background, like it was camouflaging. Speculations of flying aliens among us went viral online, as many were sure no human could pull this off. Some even said that the alien was here on a mission to spy on us.
Okay, I don't like the background music right now, bro. Like, why put this background music?
But let me know what you think of this flying alien. Spanish UFO.
Yeah, this one.
Probably this. What is that?
A drone, plane, or something extraterrestrial? What was this object captured floating in the skies over Spain? A couple of years back, this strange sight was witnessed by many. In the otherwise cloudless sky, an object was spotted floating. As it just looked like a tiny dot from a distance, when the guy recording zoomed in, a huge object emerged. Yellowish brown in color, the object was rotating but didn't change its position in the sky.
Yeah, this one looks believable. We have seen this in the past as well. A lot of people try to debunk it and cover it. It has a shape of a human ear as well, if you look at it, right? From different angles, it does look like a human ear. But then when you see the front, it looks like that it has a mirror and a place to sit down, right?
And had no apparent exhaust system. It ticked all the boxes for being a UFO. Many people also thought it looked like a giant ear.
Yeah.
And if you look closely, it does look like that. A rotating giant ear. Quite a sight in the sky.
Crazy shape, man. Holy crap. Yeah.
What is that?
And this is like the window of, the window.
ET undetected. Over
What's
the
that?
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, a couple of officers in training captured an unfamiliar flying object. Since they just joined the Air Force, they thought they were being hazed or pranked, but it soon became clear this was genuinely an anomaly no one
just a
knew
prank,
about.
bro.
What's even scarier than this mysterious UFO is the exact location it chose to appear. If it could appear atop an Air Force base without getting detected, what are the chances of such things flying around all the time? And how do we know we're safe? The UFO remained airborne for quite some time, but eventually took off. India's first contact.
Holy crap. First contact? Nah.
India just recently dealt with an unidentified aircraft flying somewhere close to a valley in Kashmir. Initially, the folks recording this assumed it was just a spy satellite, but if that were true, it would have shown on the radar, as the military wouldn't have allowed that. But if we think about it, it's even weirder this one didn't show up on the radar at all, which means it possesses technology humans haven't been able to crack yet. Its appearance is also quite suspicious, almost like a weapon. Maybe
it's as though like going left to right a little bit. It's like moving a little bit, right?
Maybe it's a way to warn us of an imminent invasion. Either way, I'm glad this isn't happening close to home.
Okay, so he's like, he said like, hey, lock yourselves in the basement. The Martians are here. He's leaning more towards like doomsday situation. Yeah, invasion. Aliens are coming. Aliens. I mean, listen, nobody knows, so I'm not gonna call the guy naive. But you never know, right? Listen, I don't know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. We really, I guess it would be very naive to think that they would think like us, right? Because when you really think about it, I know this is one of the examples that are given. I don't fully agree with, but I understand why this example is given. It's one of those things, right? You look at an ant, you cannot speak to it. Yeah, right? You're not gonna be able to understand what the ant is saying or you're saying to the ant. The ant is vice versa. The ant is not gonna understand. I know a lot of people also give this example, which I understand. Like I said, is that we might be the ants to the aliens. I think we're quite intelligent, not the most intelligent. Absolutely, the IQ points are dropping down every single year, especially here in the West, right? Because the food has gotten so bad here. I'm talking about, of course, the fast food restaurants, the junk food and all that. People consume that in masses. You know it's bad for you, right? So there's a whole lot of that. IQ points are dropping down. The algorithm is designed to suck you in on social media's talk, especially like Instagram, Facebook's. The TikToks and all that. That's really designed, and a lot of people don't think for themselves either, generally speaking. So yeah, but I would still like to believe that we're still superior. We are, of course, on this planet we're superior in terms of the ants. At least we think so, right? We are, but I don't want to believe that they would look at us like ants. But I understand this argument. It's one of those things, right? We have how many languages? 6,000 plus languages on this planet. 6,000 plus languages. Just let that sink in. Holy crap, right? So out of all of that, which language the aliens would understand? Probably none, right? English, maybe? Nah. Yeah, how are we gonna communicate? They're telepathic beings, bro. Telepathic communication. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But forget that telepathic communication exists. How are we gonna able to understand them? How are they gonna understand us? Maybe they're really advanced and they're gonna understand us. Maybe, but logically it doesn't work like that. But again, I guess it's naive to think that they're gonna think like us, because they're not us, right? And we are not them. But there are conspiracies, obviously, which would, I know I'm contradicting myself, I'm about to, but there are conspiracies that do say that the aliens are us, but from the future. Ever heard of that? Ever heard of that?
Escape from DC.
Oh, that's Superman, bro.
Who says
Call
Superman isn't real? Something similar suddenly took off from the sky. The creature or object was unknowingly captured by a man exploring a wildlife reserve. Since he had been hiding in the bushes, he went unnoticed by whatever ungodly object it was. When the video was uploaded, many commenters wondered if this was a test aircraft, but that doesn't explain the flowy robe. Many believe this is actually a human with insane abilities, but one that's also able to morph their shape, so they won't be easily recognized.
Yeah. 1987. So this was like a re-upload of the video recently. Guys, it has been a pleasure. I'll likely make a part 2 video of this one. But for now, this is also going viral right now. Not sure if you guys were able to catch this clip or not. This is very interesting. If you've already seen it, then check out the video on the left. In fact, check out both of these videos and I'll see you right there.